Silver buyer on Shelburne Road in South Burlington, right across from Heritage Toyota.
Since 1966, Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning in Middlebury has been serving the needs of Addison County. Their family-owned and operated business has helped their customers look their best in good times and tough times with reliable, dependable, and quality service that you can depend on. Providing same-day, on-site cleaning using state-of-the-art technology and machinery, the team at Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning can clean just about anything. From jackets to leather items, tablecloths to doilies, and wedding dresses to vintage items, trust the Desiree team to make your items look perfect. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning offers free pickup and delivery in the Middlebury area, including a drop-off location at the Vermont Marketplace in Bristol and convenient hours. To help their customers impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak, Desiree is offering 24-hour laundromat service 7 days a week and dry cleaning services 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning on Exchange Street in Middlebury.
Hi, this is Mike McGrath from Mike's Auto. Here's just a few things we do. Brakes, shocks, struts, wheel bearings, mufflers, tune-ups, oil changes, head gaskets, front end alignments. What we don't do is Johnson rods, muffler bearings, or flux capacitors because they don't exist. So if your car skips, grinds, wanders, or sputters, give us a call. 388-4138 in Middlebury, or just hit us on the web at mikesautomid.com. If we can't fix it, it ain't broke.
Hi, this is John Wallace, graduate gemologist and owner of Autumn Gold in Middlebury, Vermont. Stop in and melt someone's heart. Whether you're looking for fine handcrafted jewelry, a rare gemstone, or an awesome diamond, come in and see what we have to offer. Meet our fun staff of very talented designers and goldsmiths. And remember, we do expert in-house repairs, restorations, and appraisals as well. Autumn Gold, the Earth's most beautiful gifts.
Monument Farms in Weybridge is 100% authentic and part of Vermont's heritage. They literally do it all, from growing their own corn, raising the cows, feeding and milking them, then processing and distributing the milk. You can find their great local products in many area stores if you live locally. Please stop by their popular dairy store Monday through Fridays. Monument Farms, landmark quality from the heart of Vermont in Weybridge.
Now back to the field for more Tiger football on 92.1 WVTK.
And we're back at Doc Collins Field in Middlebury, where the 1-0 Middlebury Tigers are getting set to take on the 0-0 Fairhaven Slaters. And Bruce, before we went to break, I brought up the fact that the Tigers have experienced this game once, and the Fairhaven Slaters have not. We have experienced broadcasting one of these games. What to you was one of the things that kind of surprised you about last week?
I was surprised by how fast the game went. It seemed like we started the game and then it was over that quickly. You know, I think that really everybody involved in getting the season going did a heck of a job. I really think they did. I think it's amazing that the kids are playing, which is an important thing. But one of the things that I was not really prepared for was how much time is taken off the clock with each drive. We'll get to this in a couple of minutes, but some of the other games that were this past week, and there were some incredible scores.
Yep.
But it seemed like just about every drive in that game that we saw on Saturday, something happened. And if it didn't, it took a huge chunk off the clock. I remember one of the drives that Otter Valley had, they had I think it was a 10 or 11 play, 95-yard drive, took like 9.5 minutes off the clock, but nothing happened. So not only did it hurt them and not scoring there, but it kind of hurt them at the end of the game when they were within a touchdown.
Yep. And in fact, to back that up, the third quarter only had 2 possessions. It was that long. And really at the end, you had this feeling you knew time was going to run out. As you say, there's about 4 minutes left. Typically, you're looking at a football game, even on a high school level. People at home might be used to kind of the 2-minute drill. I've found that typically in high school, it kind of takes 3 minutes usually for an extended drive at the end of the game, effectively. At least the Tigers, who will tend to take their time a little bit. But in this case, with a long time left in the game, and a very close game, mind you, it was less than a touchdown in the end, you still knew that it was over. And I think that was interesting. And I don't know whether that was an element of that being just last week, and who knows what we'll see this week, or whether that's something we'll just get used to going forward.
Well, in some of the other games that went on Saturday, I believe it was Windsor beat Hartford. I think it was 57-30 26 or something like that. I mean, for a score like that, you literally had to score on every time you touch the ball and get in there and just hurl that thing.
Yep.
So that must have been a heck of a game to see, too.
Yeah, and then one thing to think about, too, we talked about the fact that passing teams, ones that traditionally do that, probably will do better. And there is no question, if you look at last week, that was the case. Burn Burton scored 41 points against Mill River. You would expect that from Burn Burton. Colchester got 36 on Mount Abe, and while Colchester is typically a more balanced team than some of these others I'm going to mention, they do typically like to throw, especially to their split ends. So they are prepared for that to some degree. And of course, Windsor, people here may not know, Windsor has actually been a power in Division III for some time. I remember seeing them in the state championship a couple of years ago. I think they were playing Springfield, and they were fantastic. They threw the ball all over the place. So in a way, I think we don't realize here in Middlebury that teams like that, like Windsor, exist in a different division, something like that. The teams that really pass, they excelled last week. Middlebury, if you saw their score 20-14, you'd think that's an average. Well, not necessarily an average Middlebury game. They often score more than that, but it sounds like that kind of defensive sort of game. But if you look, each quarterback almost had 25 pass attempts. It's almost 50 pass attempts. That's really remarkable for a Middlebury team.
It was, and I was very impressed at how the Middlebury quarterbacks adopted to that. I mean, both quarterbacks looked very good. They threw the ball well. They have 4 seconds to get rid of the ball, and they managed to do that. And I thought that the Tigers, the passing game looked really good.
Yeah, and I was talking to Gabe Dunn this week, and Gabe is a player who often has the ball in his hands. Did last year and will this year as well. And he was saying the one thing he noticed was that catches were reliable. That if you went, especially across the middle, if you kind of got in those open spaces, you could actually be exceptionally efficient with your passing. And the numbers really bear that out. 17 of 25 was Ryan Thomas Daniel, and Zach Bean, 15 of 25. Those are especially for a team that often run. I mean, this was really their first game of opening it up. That's really, really efficient work. And so will the Tigers stick with that and kind of go with that a lot, or will they decide, hey, we're going to have some fun. We're here to throw it around. Let's air it out a little bit. I'll be interested to see which direction they go as play callers.
Well, let's talk about that too, because analyzing the game last week, that 20-14 Tigers win, the Otter Valley Otters dropped a bunch of passes, and that hurt them. They did. That hurt them.
Yeah, and really, that's true. There was one in the end zone where it was dropped, and then they weren't able. I think it was on that drive you were talking about. So that is an interesting point that Otter Valley did leave something on the table here for Fairhaven. They are typically a passing team as well. Not quite as much as maybe a Burn Burton, but they do like to throw a lot. Are they more prepared for this structurally in terms of what they continuously teach than some of the more traditional players like a Hartford, which allowed 57 points to Windsor? If you normally said any year 36 to 57, you never would believe that. But it's a different game. And so tonight we have a potential for a real matchup here.
You certainly do. And the other thing that I think will be interesting to see with these two teams is managing the clock. Because if you are able to get up a couple of touchdowns like the Tigers were able to do last week, you can still run a slow, very deliberate play or a series of plays up the field and really take the other team out of the game. You get up 2 or 3 scores, you have a couple of drives. In the one quarter last game, there were 2 possessions. You do that, the game's over. So it's a lot of clock management too.
Those of you who are tuning in and listening and saying, why are they talking about these differences? What are they talking about? It occurs to me you may not realize that we are working football this year in Vermont under a very different setup. And I just want to take a minute, Bruce, for us to describe what it is that we are talking about. This year, Vermont has decided to go with a 7-on-7 football model. So if you were to look out on the field, you would see 7 players on each side. As on offense, as they set up, there is one center, right? The center is the person who hikes the ball. There is a quarterback. And then after that, they have 5 other players that all go out into passing routes. 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. And as a result, they can get into a lot of space. And on defense, Bruce, they tend to just seem like they make a line a little bit and have backs, but they kind of just seem spread out.
Yeah, it's really very much of a prevent defense. And sometimes it works. And last week, sometimes it seemed not to, because you knew they were going to pass. They have to pass. That's how it is. But, in some cases, you needed a lot of yards so you can set your players back. And
absolutely. But As you mentioned, they 4 seconds to pass for the quarterback when they drop back. There cannot be backwards passes, so the passes are forward. And in a complete flip of normal football, as you think about it, usually when you drop a pass, that then stops the clock and they reset at the line of scrimmage. In this case, when you drop a pass, there's what's called running time, which means the clock will continue. Basically, the only times that they stopped running time was for timeouts.
Yeah, and that was something I was not really expecting how fast the game went, and you have to manage that because, again, if you're going to score and then you're down, you've not only got to score, but you almost have to give the other team the ball back quickly so you can have a chance to do it again.
Right, and absolutely. And gaining the knowledge of how that actually works, watching that progressive season, they're going to be really good at this by the time, hopefully, they don't have to use it anymore.
By the time we go back to normal football.
Exactly. Thinking a little bit more about Gabe and some of the rules, one thing to know is that there are 2 sets of players, some of the bigs or some of the littles. We're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, we're going to hear about who those players are when Bruce gives us the starting lineups. It's the Middlebury Tigers getting set to take on the Fairhaven Slaters. Week 2, 92-1. WVTK.
Real trust is having a partner you can count on. National Bank of Middlebury has experienced bankers providing advice, guidance, and support you can trust, and a full range of loans, savings, and online products and services. Find out what having the right partner can do for you. Offices in Middlebury, Brandon.
I guess I'm not going to
BMW, the ultimate
talk to myself.
Learn more at the AutoMaster BMW. Ahead of the curve.
I don't even know, should we do starting lineup? Only 3:20 on, but then when they come running back and they tack 10 more minutes on.
That's on top of the outstanding performance you've come to expect from BMW. But this all adds up to is a more intuitive, exhilarating, and rewarding experience for the driver. Not every journey has an end. Here's to the next 100 years of innovation. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Learn more at the AutoMaster BMW. Ahead of the curve. Shelburne Road in Shelburne, Vermont. And at the AutoMasterBMW.com. Special lease and finance offers available by the AutoMaster through BMW Financial Services.
Over 60 years in business. LaBerge equals insurance. LaBerge Insurance Agency's been helping you find the right insurance. Don't pay too much for the wrong coverage. LaBerge Insurance will get it right. Homeowners, renters, condo, auto, life, commercial, farm, or Medicare supplement insurance. Call LaBerge at 388-2772. LaBerge Insurance Agency, locally owned and conveniently located at 1 Washington Street, Middlebury. LaBerge equals insurance.
Mini is a different kind of car for a different kind of drive. For the drive to create a new kind of family car. One with go-kart handling and room for everyone. The all-4 all-wheel drive that takes you everywhere. For the drive to create and innovate. For the drive that's inside you and inside us. That's the drive under the hood of every Mini. Because every Mini is for the drive. Test drive a Mini today at Mini of Burlington. Champlain Drive.
I was not supposed to be talking.
Yeah, no. I'll yeah, I know.
It's okay. For me, I'm going to be a prima donna.
This is Emma, daughter of Eric Carter from the Carter Insurance Agency. The right insurance coverage. Whether you're hiking up Mount Abe, cruising down Route 7 on your motorcycle, sailing across Lake Champlain, relaxing at Campersville, or having a barbecue in your backyard, the Carter Agency is here to help make sure you are safe from unexpected accidents. Let the team at the Carter Agency help you and answer your questions to make sure you have the right coverage for your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, boat, and more. Learn more by
players. On the left side, on the split end, number 8, junior Jordan Martin. At left slot back, number 24, senior Gabe Dunn. The center, sophomore, number 15, Charlie Stone. The right slot back, number 4, junior Nikolai Lush. And at right split end, number 81, senior Bodie Rubright. The quarterback is number 11, senior Zach Bean. And the fullback, number 43, senior Mason Kaufman. And now the starting lineup for the Middlebury offense, the Bigs, who will play the opposite quarters. On the left side, at split end, number 82, sophomore Willem Berry. The left slot, number 86, senior Gabe Cotel. The center, number 15, sophomore Charlie Stone. On the right side, at right slot, number 75, sophomore Dalton Riom. And on the right split end, number 50, junior Sam Warren. The quarterback is number 13, junior Ryan Thomas Daniel. And the fullback, number 71, senior Colin Bradford.
And now for the defense for Middlebury. Let's get it on. One of the great things about this game right now is so many kids play. So let's hear everybody's name. I know it'll tire you out a little, but
that's all right. I get paid to talk. That's why I get the big bucks for, Bjarke. All right, on defense, on the left side, the left corner, number 24, senior Gabe Dunn. The left side linebacker, number 81, senior Bodie Rubright. The middle backer, number 22, senior Jack Rizzo. The right side linebacker, number 89, junior Matt Kiernan. And the right corner, number 11, senior Zach Bean. The safeties on the left side, number 43, senior Mason Kaufman. And on the right side, number 45, sophomore Finn Whitlock. As for the Bigs, on the left corner, number 51, junior Milo Gordon. The left side linebacker, number 73, senior Wyatt LaFleur. On the right side, linebacker, number 71, senior Colin Bradford. And on the right corner, number 50, junior Sam Warren. As for the safeties, on the left side, number 86, senior Gabe Cotel. The middle safety, number 50, junior Sam Warren. And on the right side, number 82, sophomore Willem Berry.
And those are the starting lineups. As right now, the captains go out and meet in the middle of the field. Two officials ready to talk them over and do the coin flip. And Bruce, after 1 week, what are we looking for tonight?
Well, one of the things that we learned from the last game is getting on the board first and getting up some points is certainly a significant advantage. So that's what I think that you will see Middlebury look to do quickly, especially against the team that has not played a game yet. We'll see if they're into the rhythm because Middlebury certainly is. By the end of that first game, they were firing on all cylinders.
Well, for me, what I'm looking for off the bat is that the Fairhaven Slaters are often a passing team. This is a team that is adept at this sort of thing. If you look at last week, you will see that passing teams fared very well, or not last week, a few days ago, should I say, fared very well. North Country had 48 points. Jack Young threw for 7 touchdown passes. Burton had 41 points. These are passing teams. Windsor, a traditional passing team in Division III, had 57. Now, Fairhaven has not played a game yet, so they are still probably going to have to adjust to this type of football more than the Tigers will, who have played 1 game of this. But Fairhaven is well set up to succeed. So for me, that's going to be kind of the question, the story I'm watching to start it off.
Yeah, and again, I think after you get your first series of downs, I think you'll try to get into a rhythm of this game. I mean, Middlebury did that very well last week, and we'll see if they're able to get on the board quickly.
One of the other things we talked about, for those of you who are just joining us, is 7-on-7 football. That this is different. It is going to be 2-hand, actually 1-hand touch. It's a forcible touch. There is a running clock, so the game may be a little faster than you are used to. But the idea really, kids are playing without pads, although they do have helmets on. But the idea is to have fun, to go out and be competitive, and the kids really seem to be enjoying it so far. I do felt that. I mean, we felt that, I think, last week when we interviewed the players of the game. I think we felt kind of just their relief at being able to be out on the field.
Well, I felt bad for some of the players at the beginning of the season when it didn't look like we were going to get in. We really didn't know for a long time, and I was just happy they were able to play because I remember being in high school and wanting to play. It was hockey, different sport, but I know how I would feel if the season had been canceled or you didn't get to play it, so I was just glad that they were able to get on the field.
Yeah, and it was kind of nice last week as a result of having the bigs and the littles. We actually bucked tradition a little bit, and we actually had 2 JP Carrera players of the game, which was fun. We had Sam Warren, who did an excellent job catching passes out there, and Bodie Rubright, a senior co-captain, who caught some passes and played well. And it was interesting because even though it's different, that Zach Bean, the Bodie Rubright thing, I mean, that looked like something they really could sustain.
Yeah, they played very well. Their passing game looked sharp, and I anticipate you will see that again tonight and trying to get on the board quickly.
And so the Middlebury Tigers coming in with a record of 1-0. Currently, they are scheduled for 9 games this season, so this is the second out of 9. They're going to be packed together, for those of you who are a little surprised by the fact that you are listening to a game on a Tuesday night. Really, the idea is, Bruce, that they don't need as long to recover. They're not hitting each other, so they're not pounding their bodies. that much. So we're going to pack a lot in a very short amount of time. But we're going to step aside, and we'll be back for kickoff here at 92.1 WVTK.
Mini is a different kind of car for a different kind of drive. For the drive to create a new kind of family car. One with go-kart handling. The all-4 all-wheel drive that takes you everywhere. For the drive, create, and innovate. For the drive that's inside you and inside us. That's the drive under the hood of every Mini. Because every Mini is for the drive. Test drive a Mini today at Mini of Burlington, Champlain Drive, Shelburne, and at miniofburlington.com to schedule your test drive.
Hi, this is John Wallace, graduate gemologist and owner of Autumn Gold in Middlebury, Vermont. Stop in and melt someone's heart. Whether you're looking for fine handcrafted jewelry, a rare gemstone, or an awesome diamond, come in and see what we have to offer. Meet our fun staff of very talented designers and goldsmiths. And remember, expert in-house repairs, restorations, and appraisals as well. Autumn Gold, the Earth's most beautiful gifts.
The finest furniture, housewares, home accessories, lighting, and bedding is at Woodware, a family-owned business located just south of Middlebury on Route 7. They carry brands known for quality: Flex Steel, sofas, sectionals, recliners, and accent furniture; Thor's Elegance, Vermont-crafted furniture; Beauty Rest, mattresses; Hubbard's & Forge, hand-forged lighting from Vermont; R.H. Lemure, fine hardwood dining room furniture; Oriental Weavers, area rugs; and Telescope casual outdoor furniture. Their top-quality furnishings and other items for your home are backed by a customer is always right guarantee.
Looks pretty nice.
Plus, they
right now, it
deliver
doesn't look
any
like too bad.
provide
Hopefully it
white
stays
glove
that
delivery
way.
service anywhere in the country. It's all at Woodware on Route 7 South Middlebury. Online at woodwarevt.com.
I have like no food. I'm seriously, like I have ketchup and a fork.
WVTK. Fort Henry, Ticonderoga, Middlebury. 92.1 WVTK. This is where the Middlebury Tigers play. 92.1.
I mean, I can't even like come back from the break. Going here, the Fairhaven Slaters ready to start the ball game, starting at the 30-yard line against the Middlebury Tigers. We're at 7-on-7 high school football, game 2. Tigers at 1-0, and the quarterback drops back. He's looking over to his right side, taking his time. Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake. He had a lot of time there, and they gave it out to the 40, a 10-yard pickup from Sawyer Ramey.
And there's a flag down. I think that might be a 4-second violation.
I certainly imagine it was. He pumped for a while there. And that's one of the things you're going to have to learn as a quarterback to, do those things that throwing quarterbacks will have to do. Have that anticipation. Once you see something, fire it right in there. It is going to be Sawyer Ramey with the ball ready to go. This time at the 30, they have lost him down. They've not lost distance. Ramey throws it over on that far side. That's going to go to number 63, David Doran. He didn't gain much on that play, though. About two yards on that play. Coming up, it's going to be 3rd and 8 coming up for the Fairhaven Slaters. 2 left, 2 to the right. 1 running back up on the line. He drops back, does Ramey, looking downfield. He's got a fairly open man in the middle there, and that's going to be a nice pickup of about 13 yards.
That was a well-thrown ball, a nice catch, and first down for the Slaters.
And that catch was by number 75, Ty Mackey. Got to keep track of their scores here. Stats, Sawyer Ramey back in the shotgun. Man coming across in front of him. Drops back, looking again to his right. They've commonly got it. Comes back to his middle. Goes out long. Chance for an interception. And it is picked off. Nice job there. That interception was made by Willem Berry. His first interception of the year. First Tiger of interception of the year. And Bruce, that was one thing that surprised me last week. I would have expected more interceptions.
Yeah, you're right. And Barry on that play doing a nice job just stepping right in front of the receiver and picking that off.
And right now, the Middlebury Tigers coming in for their first possession of the night. 13-19 left to go in this first quarter. Tigers 0, Fairhaven Slaters 0. Tigers looking over at the near sideline, getting the signals coming in from their coach. Switching out a player. As Charlie Stone comes into the game. And the Tigers are ready to go. Ryan Thomas Daniel in at quarterback, and the shotgun looks over to his left, throws it in pretty near, and it's brought in by number 75, Dalton Rayoum. Nice little pick there of about 6.
Yeah, quick pass to the left there, and we talked about that last week, about whether or not the Tigers or any other team will go to those quick, short passes to pick up small chunks of yards and keep the clock and the progress moving forward.
Right, Thomas Daniel brings the team up to the line. 3 on the left, 2 on the right. He looks middle, nobody there, goes over to his left side, almost gets it into the hands of Gabe Cotel, but is knocked down. And the Tigers are now going to be looking at third and about 4. 12-16 left to go in the first quarter. Tigers 0, Fairhaven Slaters 0. You can see Fairhaven in this loose defense here. 4 people kind of up at the line, 3 way back in the secondary, hoping to keep everything fairly in front of them. Ryan Thomas standout, dropping back, looking around, surveying his options. Nobody quite coming open. There's an open man. Nice pickup there. Over to Gabe Cotel. What was that, Bruce? About a 22-yard gain.
22-yard game, a nice pass. That was floating up there, though. That held up there a little while. Nice catch by the Tigers on the right sideline. First down, Middlebury. 11:35 left to play first quarter. Middlebury and Fairhaven scoreless. The ball now 1st and 10 on the Fairhaven 38.
Pretty efficient so far for these Tigers. Daniel brings the team up to the line. 2 on the left, 1 in the backfield with him, 2 on the right. And there's a wheel route open for Bradford. Decides not to take it. Yes, throws it. Colin just kind of sat down in that open space, and it got brought in. There's a flag down. If it's against Middlebury for the length of time, then it will count, though. That interception was made by number 82, Ryan Doobie. Let's see if it holds. Over 4 seconds. This should go over to Fairhaven, I would imagine. Yes, you would. So here's a fun fact for you, Bruce. Both interceptions were made by number 82. How about that? Willem Berry is number 82. Ryan Doobie is number 82.
Little high school football trivia.
That's a little weird. Now I have a story to tell the classes on Thursday. All right, we got the teams coming up to the line. It is Sawyer Ramey looking at his signals. 3 to his left, 2 to his right. He's got movement. Now there's 4 overloaded on the left side. He's got people coming into motion. Checks it. Nope. He's going to go into an open space. Might get picked off. As an interception back the other way. Number 82 again. There's been 3 interceptions by number 82.
Well, there have been 3 possessions, and all of them have ended with an interception so far. There's another one for your class.
Now that was not something I expected.
So the Tigers will take over. 1st and 10 on the Fairhaven 40. 10 minutes left to play first quarter, scoreless.
One thing I'm seeing that's a little different, I feel like there was more decisiveness on the parts of the quarterbacks. Maybe the defense are covering better this week. And Ryan Towns did. Oh, there we go. That's what we were waiting for. That worked last week. Excellent game there. That's going to go to last week's player of the game, Sam Warren.
19-yard pickup.
And that was something that worked that they went to effectively last week. And I think trying to test downfield, but they found they could go to that little bread and butter anytime they want. And if you get enough speed coming across that middle, especially depending on how your bigs are in that space, if you look at those bigs, they're pretty big. Sam Warren's going to have a nice advantage. It is Ryan Tomastano back in the shotgun, 1st and 10, looking over his right side. There you go again. Sam Warren making distance. That's going to be 9-yard pickup, and right now they're making it look pretty easy.
Middlebury moving down the field with alacrity here to the right side. I love using words that we have to look up.
I love it. Excellent. Alacrity. And 8:55 left to go in the first quarter. Tigers are tied with the Slaters 0-0, although they're moving efficiently down the field. It is a 2nd and 2. The ball is on the 14-yard line. Ryan Thomas Daniel back in the shotgun. 1 running back, Colin Bradford with him. He looks over towards Bradford, but then is popping. Wants something longer. You better watch that time. Watch that time. He's going to throw it into the end zone. Remember, if you're watching and listening at home, remember it's a 4-second clock, so you do have to be aware of that. And right now for the Tigers, looking at a 3rd and 2. So that was a nice spot to be, 3rd and 2, in the sense that you really have a pretty open playbook in terms of you can go for kind of any length play on this kind of situation.
And considering where you are on the field, this is more than likely 4-down territory, rather.
Yeah, though, you do have a kicker on your team. That's fine. You wonder if you go for the kick just to do it.
That's true.
Colin Bradford in the backfield, moving over behind Ryan Thomas Taylor, dropping back 2 on each side. He's looking for an open receiver, moves to his eyes left, now goes towards the middle. It is going to be knocked down, and we're going to test this right now. It's going to be 4th down for the Tigers. One thing we talked about, Bruce, was the speed of the game. Those at home may note it's already 7:35 left in the first quarter. It's ticking right along.
And this is the fourth possession between the two teams, 2 for Middlebury, 2 for Fairhaven. We'll see if we can get some points on the board here. You're right, they are going to try a field goal.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. Number one, Nikolai Lushka is a really good kicker. He had a phenomenal year last year. And I think it's also good to, if we're here to have some fun, let him kick it away. And here they go. The snap is down. The kick is up. The kick is really, really nice. And the Tigers are up 3-0 on the Slaters on 92.1 WVTK.
Do you have jewelry or coin collections just collecting dust? They may be worth money. The price of gold and silver is at an all-time high, and it's a great time to
So
sell.
this is the
Visit
problem. We
Barnes
have no
Coins
time
and
for
Jewelry
ads.
For a free appraisal and the highest.
National Bank of Middlebury has experienced bankers providing advice, guidance, and support you can trust, and a full range of loans, savings, and online products and services. Find out what having the right partner can do for you. Offices in Middlebury, Brandon, Bristol, Heinsberg, and
it's
Virginia, or
terrible.
online at
Yeah,
MBN.
DK.
And we're back. The Middlebury Tigers taking on the Fairhaven Slaters. We did miss 2 plays due to the speed of this game, but I could back it up for you. Right now, they had 2 plays. They they got a short pass, and then they missed the second pass. So right now, it is 3rd and 8 from the 32-yard line. So 1 2-yard pass play so far here. It is Sawyer Ramey back with 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. He throws close to one of his big guys, number 63, David Doran, his second catch of the night. And that's going to be enough for the first down. So right now, Fairhaven trailing 3-0. Given some of the high scores so far we've seen this year in different games, I would have expected a little higher thing than this, but both of them have thrown not multiple interceptions. There have been multiple interceptions. And Sawyer Ramey drops back. He's looking around. He dumps middle again, and the teams seem to be finding that this soft middle is the place to go for reliable action.
Well, those quick, short passes keeping the chains moving and getting them further up the field. 4:45 left to play first quarter, 3-0 Middlebury.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, you think about how the efficiency for the quarterback is going to improve. It actually ends up being like a running play. And if you could get a running play where you get 4 or 5 yards every play, you'd go for that. Ramey drops back. He has all sorts of options as people go downfield, just out of the hands of David Doran. But that looked pretty good. That was just 4 people streaking down the field. Somebody tried to get open.
Yeah, well-thrown ball, just a little bit over the receiver's hands. And we're at 3rd and 7, 4:10 left to play first quarter. The ball on the Fairhaven 44.
With the Middlebury Tigers leading the Slaters 3-0. Slaters have 3 on the left side, although one's moving across to the right. So now it's 3 to the right, 2 to the left for Sawyer Ramey. All of them up on the line. Waits for it, calls it out. And there they go, looking over to his left, checking back towards his right. He's got a man right open, decides to go short, kind of tries to throw him open near the sideline, but just unable to bring it in. David Doran is clearly a favorite target of Sawyer Ramey.
And the Tigers doing a good job playing their pass defense. Ramey did not have much to throw to there.
Well, the one thing that I like about what he's doing out there, to be fair, is he really is looking at his options. You see he's being active. He's looking at one side, working, progressing across the field there. That shows an awareness of what is going on out there for the offense, and I think that will spell good things for the Fairhaven Slaters going along here. Yeah, we have to keep in mind, these are just their first few possessions of the year. And this is going to be a punt. It is going to be dropped down at the 25. And here will come the Middlebury Tigers, ready to take over, leading by a score of 3-0.
So they will take over on the 25. 2:50 left to play first quarter. 3-0 Middlebury.
And right now for Middlebury, I'm interested to see how they mix up different plays. One of the things I was really impressed by last year with the coaching staff was they really created a lot of variety in their pass plays and in their plays in general. And to see this offense develop, I imagine they're having some fun with it. And even right now, a little bit of an unusual setup. 3 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 in the backfield. And Ryan Thomas Daniel looks up his right, wide open player there as he could go a lot. There's Sam Warren, I think, with an 11-yard gain. I'll give him a 12-yard. That is Sam's third catch of the game. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Middlebury from the 39 of Fairhaven. Middlebury leading 3-0. Ryan Thomas Daniel in the backfield, 3 to his left, 1 to his right, 1 fullback. And he's looking over to his left. He's got an option closer, but he's going to try to look longer. He's got a couple options closer. May have missed the 4-minute marker here. However, there's going to be interception. I think if I had one criticism there, the offensive player needs to turn into a defensive player right there, Bruce. And there was really no movement on that play for that.
Well, not only was that intercepted by Fairhaven, but one of the Tigers was by himself on the right sideline, easily 10 yards open. And I guess the quarterback didn't see that. And so the Slaters will take over with a minute 21 left to play in this first quarter. And the Tigers up by 3.
Well, I would expect there's kind of an interesting psychological thing as you try to play this game. Because on one hand, everybody's acknowledging it's kind of fun. It's for an experience. It's modified. Okay, go have fun. But at the same time, you also kind of are thinking about it as a competitive game and really kind of, wanting to win. And I think as a result, I think sometimes as a player, I wonder if there's almost a, should I take the, if you're a quarterback, for example, if you're really trying to win, probably more likely you're going to be conservative with your pass throws, right? You're not going to want to put it into a dangerous space. But if you're playing for fun and mix up, football, maybe you take that chance, But I would imagine for these players adjusting to it, they haven't yet figured out how much of a chance to take. And I think that must be pretty hard.
I think so, and especially for a team like Fairhaven that hasn't played a game yet. At least Middlebury has got 4 quarters under their belt here. But a lot of interceptions in this game so far, and the Slaters taking over on the Middlebury 45, a minute left in the first quarter.
So it is a stopped play. That is interesting. That will not count against them. I imagine Fairhaven is saying, why can't I do? Wow, that's an interesting rule. Yes, I imagine they would have to talk about this. And that's a tough thing. If that's the rule and that's the way you've set it up before the game started, I don't think you can really all of a sudden, change midway. So we might think that's a weird rule, but it kind of is what it is. So the Middlebury Tigers are looking at a 1st and 10. Certainly it benefits the Tigers. It is a 2nd and 10, but they did not lose the ball. And right now it is Ryan Thomas Daniel in the backfield, 4 to the left, 1 to the right. They're all together over there. And he gets to the closest player. That is number 53, Wyatt LaFleur, with his catch. And that's a gain of about 5 yards there. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Tigers from their own 40-yard line. Ryan Thomas Daniel back in the shotgun. He has a running back next to him. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. He's got a close person open, but he's decided to take a shot. I think it's going to be overthrown. And yes, it is. That's going to bring up 4th and 5. And time's ticking down on this quarter, 23 seconds. I think it will probably tick out.
And this is one of the things we discussed in the pregame show. Again, during a normal game, you would have a clock stoppage and a chance to get something done. But really, Middlebury has no onus to do anything here except let the quarter run out. They're winning.
Yep. And, of course, we are going to go into the second. And they get ready. They are going to punt it away, though. Oh, nice punt. Going down. It'll be taken at the 22. And we'll be back for the second on 92.1 WVTK. Right, kind of.
because they don't exist. So if your car skips, grinds, wanders, or sputters, give us a call. 388-4138 in Middlebury, or just hit us on the web at Mike's Auto Mid.
92.1 WVTK.
And we are back. The Fairhaven Sliders looking at a 1st and 10 around on the field now with their new quarter. They should have a new quarterback here. They do not. It is still
Sawyer Ramey.
It's still Sawyer Ramey out there. So they are allowed to use the same quarterback. So he gained 6 on that. It's going to be 2nd and 4 coming up for the Slayers. Ramey drops back, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. He pump fakes once, goes back across the middle, open receiver. Nice looking play there. Nice game for Ramey. About 15 yards or so.
For the Slaters with the ball on the 43.
Ball on the 43. So right now, Fairhaven coming out looking to gun it around here. Remember, he now has different players. Ramey now has wide receivers. Before you saw him playing with the bigs. These are his receivers, and this is a passing team. Ramey drops back. He's going to have options. I guarantee it. And there you go. Play right there. It's a touchdown for the Slaters.
And that was a bomb from Ramey. Well thrown.
And frankly, you could see that. You could see that developing when he came across with that full head of speed and they went out. They all kind of looked confident doing that. This is a passing team, and that made a difference.
They sure did, and I believe that was Colby Murray with the grab.
Yes, it was Colby Murray, senior co-captain on this team, and it is going to be a kick for Evan Reed coming up to see if they can go ahead 7-3. And Reed lines it up. Here comes the snap and the hold and the kick. And it is good. It is 7-3 on 92.1 WVTK.
Over 60 years in business. LaBerge equals insurance. LaBerge Insurance Agency's been helping you find the right insurance. Don't pay too much for the wrong.
I believe the first play.
92.1 WVTK.
And the Middlebury Tigers have just taken the kickoff. They will not run it back, however, the 7-on-7 style. They will take over at the 30-yard line. But right then, the Middlebury Tigers probably had a little bit of a shock. 3 plays, and Fairhaven was able to score on a 57-yard strike. Middlebury Tigers are set up now to look to respond. Right now, Zach Bean, the quarterback, 3 wide receivers on his left, a running back in the back with him, and then a wide receiver on his right. That's Bodie Rubright, who's going to catch his first pass. That's going to be 4-yard gain for the split end.
I think you're right, Bjarke. Middlebury a little stunned there. That was a 3-play, 77-yard drive, only 1:47 off the clock. And Fairhaven taking the lead. 12:50 left to play second quarter, 7-0 Fairhaven.
But now,
3, excuse me.
Now Bean gets to go out and chuck it around with his speedier folks. He's got 3 to his left, 2 to his right, 1 coming in motion. That's Gabe Dunn across in front of him, going to the right. He drops back, looks to that right side. He was looking for Rubright the whole time. That's only a gain of about 3. Middlebury Tigers, they're kind of running a little version of their old offense. Keep it close, keep it close. It looks a lot like the way they run it. For the Middlebury Tigers, very often what you'll go to is that fullback early and often to kind of bring the defense in. Wonder if a little bit of a tendency there to go to some of these short crossing routes and short slants to try to bring the defense in so that you could take the top off the defense. Luce going in motion from the right to the left. Thor now on the left, a heavy side. He's looking towards that side. Going to be close, though. No gain on that throw, really. It was a gain of maybe 1 to Luce. Right now, it is a fairly conservative game plan. It's going to be fourth and 2. I thought so. 4th and 2 with the ball on the 38-yard line. 11:42 left to go in the second quarter. Fairhaven leading the Tigers by a score of 7-3. Zach Green bringing the team up to the line. He has Mason Coffin in the backfield with him. He has 2 receivers now on his right, 2 on his left. Luce moving from right to left, creating a heavy balance on that side. But the right side of the field is where he's looking. Bodie Rubright trying to go 1-on-3. Then they go back into the middle and get a nice pickup there. That was to number 8, Jordan Martin. Nice gain there on that play. And that was about a 18-yard, 17-yard pass play.
And Bean doing a nice job managing the field there. He had to wait a few seconds to get someone open, but he did a nice job throwing that through traffic. 1st and 10 for the Tigers on the Fairhaven 45.
Bean getting the ball, low snap, and he's able to handle it. Looking downfield, lots of people with options down there. Tries to get it out to Rubright. Nice catch. Brings it in at the 10. That's the way to chuck it around the old Sandlot. Let's get a 35-yard gain on that one. That was excellent. The confidence of Bodie, who was so tall, to be able to go up and get that. I'm sure basketball coaches are saying, why does that boy play hockey?
Well, he's always had good hands, and that was a tremendous catch by Bodie Rubright.
And right now, a 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the Fairhaven 10-yard line. Right now, Zach Bean's been very efficient here in this second quarter. Still time's ticking on. 10:09 left to go in the second. Luce goes to the left, make it 3 on the left, 2 to the right, and he's going to look that way and almost got picked off. I thought number 55 was going to have his chance to bring that in. That was Owen Laughlin. And chance there. One thing I will say right now is that Zach is you can kind of see where it is progressing. You know, he's not necessarily looking around the field. Maybe it's because people are coming so open. He has tendency to kind of stare down a receiver, as one might say. Whether or not that'll hurt him, who's to say? But that is showing a little bit here. 3 on the left, 2 to the right. He gets the snap. He's looking across. He's got an open man in the middle. He's going to go for that man. That's Rubright again. Nice pickup there. Looks like, was it no, that's at the 6, so 4 yards there. 3rd and goal coming up. And Bean looking over to the sideline for his play. They're going to start with 3 receivers on the right, 2 on the left. Called in right now. The Tigers getting used to the spread offense. Remember, at home, this is not their typical look. Normally, they'd be lining up much closer, trying something new here, being pretty successful. They're going to have 4 on the left, 1 to the right, which Luce moves over. Here comes the snap. He's looking left, and there's a man in the back corner. He's going to be able to bring it in. Not quite. Just overthrew Rubright just a little bit. Actually, that was not Rubright. That was Jordan Martin. Just a little bit of an overthrow. That's going to be 4th down, and I would expect them to go for it here.
You would think so. 8:30 left to play second quarter, 7-3, Fairhaven.
And Middlebury's calling for a field goal attempt.
Middlebury is going to go for the field goal. They're going to keep kicking it, and realistically, I'll make a 1-point game. A little bit of a reasonable, typical football approach there.
And also, you're getting more practice for the kicker, too. That's good for their development down the road.
And here comes the snap, and here comes the kick. And it is good. It's 7-6 Fairhaven on 92.1 WVTK.
Mini is a different kind of car.
on 92.1 WVTK.
Back here at Doc Collins Field with 7:32 left to go in the second quarter. Fairhaven on a 2nd and 10. We're looking to go deep downfield again, and Bodie's looking to bring it in again. He picks it off, and a nice return for Bodie Rubright. Just able to pick that off and take it back. That is the 3rd pass intercepted by the Middlebury Tigers tonight.
And Bodie just stepping right in front of that pass, picking it off and turning on the Jets, and he was gone along the left sidelines.
Yeah, one issue with those pass plays where everyone goes so long is that they keep getting farther and farther and farther away from you. And so when you make that pass, you have no kind of clean or easy option. You have to bomb it away. He kind of went to the shortest option he had, which was still 15 and a half yards downfield. Bodie just able to step in front of that ball that was just underthrown and take it back. Tigers looking at a 1st and 10 from the 32 of the Slaters. Bean is back in the shotgun. He's got 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He drops back. He's looking right. He's looking kind of near right. And he is going to get it to Rubright again. Lots of passes to Bodie tonight. That's going to be about a 6-yard gain, maybe a long 5.
Ball's going to be spotted on the 26.
Bodie right now I have for 5 catches already tonight. And right now, getting it in, it is going to be 2nd and 5 from the 26 or so of the Slaters. And it's being back in the shotgun, looking out at his options. He's got a couple people pretty open in spaces. Now they're covered. Goes up high again, tries to throw it to Luke. Overthrows him in that process. I think those windows were open early. When the receivers got out there, they kind of settled into pockets. But the defenders did a nice job of then covering it up. It's harder to prevent the space, but they're recovering to it pretty well.
And also that 4-second time limit makes it tough for the quarterbacks because you don't have a lot of time for them to get to where you want them to be.
Well, in a way, that may almost get you to not allow those windows to close. If you only have so much time, as you develop more of a sense of, okay, I see it, I fire it in because I can't wait because those windows are going to be closing and because there's 4 seconds backing up on me. 4 to the left, 1 to the right. Bean's going to go long, turns out back corner. Looks like it is going to be caught for a touchdown. Beautiful throw. 26-yard touchdown?
26-yard touchdown.
And right there for the Middlebury Tigers, looks like they're starting to figure that out. Nice finish there. Nice job.
3 plays, minute 43 off the clock, 32 yards on that drive. Right now, 12-7 Middlebury.
And we'll be back on 92.1 WVTK.
Since 1966, Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning in Middlebury.
On WVTK.
The Fairhaven Slaters have thrown it once on this drive, have not had a completion. We're looking at 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. And the quarterback drops out, goes to the near side, able to pick up a safe catch, about 2 yards on that catch to Colby Murray. Murray's second catch of the game. His first was a 57-yard touchdown. Right now it is 3rd and 7. So we'll give him 3 yards, 3rd and 7 coming up for the Slaters. 3:46 left to go in this first half. Slaters trailing 13-6. Quarterback drops back, 2 to his left, 3 to his right, looks downfield. He's going to throw it to the near man, who's able to pick up a first down. Nice play there. About 15 yards or so on that pass play. And that catch was made by Murray, I believe. And it is a 1st and 10 coming up for Fairhaven. Sawyer Ramey back in the shotgun. 3 to his right, 2 to his left. He's got closer options, but he's going to try to air it out. Will the receiver be able to get behind him? It looks like he did. Big pickup there. About 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 or so.
45-yard pass, yes.
And goal on the 8 or 9.
And right now, Fairhaven is showing that when they can complete on those, that was to Sam Worthing, when they can get that completed, it works for them very, very well. 1st and 10, 1st and 9 from the 9-yard line. Raby drops back, checking out our left side, goes to short pass. Man tries to avoid the tackler, but may have actually moved backwards in the process, did Sam Worthing. So they're going to be looking at a 2nd and about the same.
No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the
2nd and goal from the 9. 2:16 left to go in the half. Tigers are leading Fairhaven 13-7, but Fairhaven, who struck quickly on one possession so far this game, looking to try to get in the end zone again. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. It is Ramey back in the shotgun. He drops back. His receivers are pretty much in the end zone, and one is wide open in the end zone. And that was a 9-yard pass play touchdown by Sam Ramey. And that reception was made by Zach Ellis, number 44, his first reception of the night. And for the Tigers, you're going to get a lot of different offensive looks there. Oh, I just lost a piece of paper. You're going to get a lot of different looks. And so, you're going to have to, sometimes people are going to be a little bit open. And here comes the kick. It is up, and it is good. It's 14-13 Fairhaven on 92.1 WVTK.
Middlebury Tigers 13.
At BMW.
Wayne.
Did it hit the official?
Right in the middle.
And so you're not going to get things like that very often. A hit an official on the 30-yard line, which is where you would start with the ball anyway. That was pretty beautiful. 1st and 10 for the Middlebury Tigers, trailing by 1 point here, 13-14, minute 17 left to go in the first half. Zach Baines dropping back, looking for receivers, got a few open. He goes towards the middle, and that is dropped. It was Colby Hammond attempting to bring it in, but he was unable to, and so the Tigers will be looking at 2nd and 10 with only a minute 3 on the clock, and that time does tick quickly. Typically, of course, the clock would stop on a pass incomplete, but in this case, it keeps playing, it keeps going. Being in the shotgun, he's got 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. He drops back, surveying his options. He's going to have one in the middle, and it's going to be a little short for Matt Kiernan. Not going to be able to bring it in. And we'll be looking at 3rd down. Timeout taken by Fairhaven.
And Middlebury Union High School Tiger football on WVTK is brought to you in part this season by the great folks at Sanderson Ducharme Funeral Services on Main Street in Middlebury and Main Street in Castleton. Caring, compassionate professionals serving the community since the early 1900s. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning and Full-Service Laundromat located at 1232 Exchange Street in Middlebury with a drop-off location at the Vermont Marketplace in Bristol. Monument Farms of Weybridge for local farm fresh milk from their farm to your local store. LaBerge Insurance Agency Incorporated for all your insurance needs on Washington Street in Middlebury. Autumn Gold Jewelry featuring the Earth's most beautiful gifts. Autumn Gold Jewelry on Main Street in downtown Middlebury. and also online at autumngoldjewelry.com.
And if you at home wonder what it's like to be a radio professional, think about Bruce Seaman could say that many words clearly all in a row. Nice job, Bruce.
I hope they were clear.
And right now it is 3rd and 10 on the 30-yard line for Zach Bean. He's going to have 4 wide receivers over to the right, 1 to the left. He's going to look towards that heavy right side first, looking for somebody to come open. And he was able to get the middle receiver in there, Matt Kieran, and able to bring it in. Not quite a first down, however. Looks like he gained about 8 or so. Timeout's going to be called by Fairhaven, looking to see if they can get the ball back for one last chuck, it looks like to me.
Down to 30 seconds left in the first half, 14-13 Fairhaven. It's going to be 4th and 3 from the 37.
Yeah, certainly with the what they were able to show on a couple of their long passing plays, including one 57-yard bomb for a touchdown, why not get the ball back with a little bit of time left to go? Expect them to use their timeout here if that's how it would work. No. Yep, I was going to say, I would expect them to take a timeout right there to give themselves some time. They'll have a 1st and 10. Now, here's a substantial difference from a typical game. Right now, you look and say, 20 seconds. Okay, we have a chance to throw a few times because the clock will stop. You don't have it in this situation. So that makes it even more important that the officials really listen to the coaches when they call timeout. We had a lag here that I would have expected the coach was probably calling for it. Every few seconds ends up mattering when every few seconds goes by faster. If that
Well, they
makes
just
sense.
put 3.5 seconds back on, so we're up to 20 seconds.
Yep.
And we've seen that Fairhaven can score quickly. Ramey has got quite an arm, been very impressed by his passing prowess. So 20 seconds, you never know what can happen here. It's a decent amount of time.
I'd expect the Tigers to come out. Actually, they're a little closer to the line than I would expect. They're going to be doing a lot of backpedaling. But I'd expect them to be a little farther back in kind of a prevent motion, but we'll see. They go to kind of a middle space, does Fairhaven. And a nice pickup there. They're looking to try to get it up. That was a nice pickup there of about 26 yards. Are they going to snap it? And he drops back. Wayne tried to correct their snap. It is going to be the quarterback chucking it downfield. He's going to have a chance just out of his hands. And it came up short. But at halftime, an exciting game at halftime. It is the Fairhaven Slaters leading the Tigers 14-13. We'll be back with halftime on 92.1 WVTK.
9:53 of the first quarter, Nikolai Lush with a 22-yard field goal that made it 3-0 Middlebury, and that's where we stood after the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, things got a little bit more exciting as the Fairhaven Slaters getting on the board. A three-play, 77-yard drive that took a minute 47 off the clock. It was Sawyer Ramey with a 77-yard pass that got the Fairhaven Slaters on the board, made it 7-3. The kick was good. And then on the ensuing drive, the Tigers with another field goal. Nikolai Lush with a 16-yard field goal that made it 7-6. That's where we stood for a while. And then at 6:46 remaining in the second quarter, the Tigers taking the lead. It was a 26-yard pass from Zach Bean to Jordan Martin that gave the Tigers a short-lived lead. The kick was good, made it 13-7 Middlebury. And then on the next drive, the Slaters taking the lead, a 9-yard pass from Ramey to Zach Ellis. It was the number 44, Zach Ellis. That made it 13-13. And then the kick was good, and that's where we stand at halftime. The Slaters leading the Tigers by a point.
And the Slaters coming in tonight not having played a game. This is their first game of the season. They are currently 0-0. The Middlebury Tigers are currently 1-0. One of the interesting other things that happened in that first half was just a slew of interceptions all in a row. In fact, there were 2 back-to-back consecutive interceptions. And there were 4 interceptions all told in that half. But one funny fact, 3 of those interceptions were by number 82. Ryan Doobie from Fairhaven had 1, and 2 were intercepted by Willem Berry of the Tigers. So the Middlebury Tigers right now, not yet a high-scoring team in this new system. We're talking about kind of what that looks like. Right now, the Bigs are going to come back out on the field for the second half. And, Ryan Thomas-Dale has done a nice job throwing it around. I'd be interested to see these Bigs kind of air it out a little bit.
Well, there was definitely a change in play. You could see the difference from the first quarter to the second quarter when there were some faster players. That's definitely something that Fairhaven took advantage of when they had that switch, because Ramey started airing it out, and they were able to get in the end zone then.
The difference was substantial from the beginning. They scored at one point a 3-play drive. We'll step aside for a moment. We'll be back with more of halftime. You're listening to the Middlebury Tigers take on the Fairhaven Slaters. It's high school football on 92.1 WVTK.
Since 1966, Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning in Middlebury has been serving the needs of Addison County. Their family-owned and operated business has helped their customers look their best in good times and tough times with reliable, dependable, and quality service that you can depend on. Providing same-day, on-site cleaning using state-of-the-art technology and machinery, the team at Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning can clean just about anything. From jackets to leather items, tablecloths to doilies, and wedding dresses to vintage items, trust the Desiree team to make your items look perfect. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning offers free pickup and delivery in the Middlebury area, including a drop-off location at the Vermont Marketplace in Bristol, and convenient hours. To help their customers impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak, Desiree is offering 24-hour laundromat service 7 days a week and dry cleaning services 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning on Exchange Street in Middlebury.
Hi, this is Mike McGrath from Mike's Auto. Here's just a few things we do. Brakes, shocks, struts, wheel bearings, mufflers, tune-ups, oil changes, head gaskets, front end alignments. What we don't do is Johnson rods, muffler bearings, or flux capacitors because they don't exist. So if your car skips, grinds, wanders, or sputters, give us a call. 388-4138 in Middlebury, or just hit us on the web at mikesautomid.com. If we can't fix it, it ain't broke.
Hi, this is John Wallace, graduate gemologist and owner of Autumn Gold in Middlebury, Vermont. Stop in and melt someone's heart. Whether you're looking for fine handcrafted jewelry, a rare gemstone, or an awesome diamond, come in and see what we have to offer. Meet our fun staff of very talented designers and goldsmiths. And remember, we do expert in-house repairs, restorations, and appraisals as well. Autumn Gold, the Earth's most beautiful gifts.
Monument Farms in Weybridge is 100% authentic and part of Vermont's heritage. They literally do it all, from growing their own corn, raising the cows, feeding and milking them, then processing and distributing the milk. You can find their great local products in many area stores if you live locally. Please stop by their popular dairy store Monday through Fridays. Monument Farms, landmark quality from the heart of Vermont in Weybridge.
Real trust is having a partner you can count on. National Bank of Middlebury has experienced bankers providing advice, guidance, and support you can trust, and a full range of loans, savings, and online products and services. Find out what having the right partner can do for you. Offices in Middlebury, Brandon, Bristol, Heinsberg, and Virgins, or online at mbmvt.com. Bank real. Live real. National Bank of Middlebury.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender, equal opportunity employer.
Now back to Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
And we're back. They're getting ready for the second half at 92.1 WVTK. The darkness is falling tonight. The feared rain that was guaranteed to us so far has not materialized, and it doesn't look like it's getting worse at the moment. You can see a little darkness off to the south. North looks fairly good. It looks like it might well hold off here. So the Middlebury Tigers are coming out of the locker room right now. They've got a banner stretched up across where they're going to come running out. They'll split that and come out onto the field. Fairhaven's already on the field doing some stretches. And 43 seconds left or so to go before we get ready for the second half. And, Bruce, I'll be really interested to see what adjustments the Tigers make here. They are not at the moment in the system a particularly high-scoring team. What are they going to do different here, or whether you just kind of stick with the same thing and get better at what you're doing, which would be a rational approach, or do they kind of mix it up? I'd like to see maybe more movement, pre-snap movement before their plays.
I think one of the things that both teams probably talked about during the halftime was better control of the ball. There was a lot of interceptions on both sides, and I think you want to get in the end zone, you have to have the ball. You can't be sloppy with the ball. We'll see if they're able to make that. But I agree with you. I think that mixing things up a little bit, it was nice to see some kicking in that first half. That's something you don't usually see all the time in Vermont high school football, and it would be interesting to see if they go to that again in the second half.
And so here they come out. Officials are ready to go. It's a quick-moving game, this 7-on-7 Vermont high school football. So we're going to get ready just to kick the second half off here. See if they choose to kick it or not. The teams can choose. If you notice that sometimes they have kicked, sometimes they haven't, that's because in order to give the kickers practice, they will do the kickoff, but no matter where the kickoff ends up, it will start on the 30. So in reality, the play doesn't make a difference, and you could just start off from the 30, as it looks like the Middlebury Tigers are going to do. But at the same time, to have people get in some kicking practice, you can also kick off. And the Middlebury Tigers talking over with their coaches, going to figure out what they're going to do here. Fairhaven's come out. It is the bigs again, the larger players, the ones who would typically be playing on the line. Keep in mind, of course, the bigs are getting an opportunity here. Very often they've been playing the line a lot of their lives. Now they get to go out and mix it up in space. And I will say one player I was impressed with last week was Colin Bradford. Colin had a couple nice catches, including one where he reached way up in the air and he was able to pluck it down one hand and then cradled it with two. A really nice catch for Bradford. 1st and 10 coming up for the Middlebury Tigers to start off the third quarter. Middlebury is trailing Fairhaven 14-13. And over here on the near side, it's going to be a 5-yard pickup from Ryan Thomas Daniel to Willem Berry. That is Willem's first catch on the night, although he has had 2 interceptions. It's going to be 2nd and 2 coming up. That was a gain of 5. I stand corrected. It was a gain of 8. And here it comes for the Middlebury Tigers. 3 to the right, 2 to the left for Daniel. Looking downfield. And does have an open man there. That is, pass is complete to Gabe Cattell. Nice pickup there on that play. About 10 or so.
46.
And it is a first down on the 46-yard line of the Tigers. Ryan Thomas Daniel is in the backfield, 3 on his right, 2 to his left. He's kind of walking over towards his right. He's going to have to watch that 4-second rule right there. And is able to loft it up. There is a penalty on that. Just took a little too long. Even so, the ball fell helplessly to the earth. I think for my stats, Bruce, it would be improper to count that as an incompletion, since it's really a dead ball. So one thing we learned last half, when they make that call for 4 seconds, the play is dead. So even if there's an interception, like there was on the play where we kind of learned this, it does not matter. The play is dead at that moment. So it does result in a loss of down, however. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Tigers. Thomas Daniel has a player about 5 yards down the field. I think that's Cotel again. And right now, Tigers still seeming to like going to those shorter passes, those safer passes. It is going to be 3rd and 6 coming up for the Tigers. Tigers are trailing by a score of 14-13. Fairhaven with a record of 0-0. They have not played yet this year until tonight, taking on the 1-0 Middlebury Tigers. Tom Staniel in the backfield, 4 to his left, 1 to his right, is looking left heavy, tries to come back, goes down the middle of the field. That's going to be a nice pickup by Sam Warren. That's going to be about a 12-yard pickup. Sam Warren, who was one of our JP Career players of the game last week, does manage to get open an awful lot of the time. He has been very effective in this offense and in this game. It is looking at a 1st and 10 from the 38 of the Fairhaven Slaters. Thomas Daniel in the backfield, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. He's looking, could take it close, and he does. I think they're going to say he was touched pretty quickly, though. That was a 5-yard pass completed to Dalton Rayoum. I believe that's Dalton's 2nd catch of the day. And it's going to be a 2nd and 4 coming up on the 32 of the Fairhaven Slaters for the Middlebury Tigers. Tigers trailing 14-13. Tigers looking over the near sideline, getting the signal in from Coach Smith. One thing you'll see this year, a lot less elaborate signal making than last year. Usually they have a variety of different people try to trick people. 4 to the left, 1 to the right, and he's going to uncork a long one, see if he can bring it in, and he's able to. On that near sideline, it's going to be Cattell running it in from 32 yards out. Worked nicely for the Middlebury Tigers.
And so coming out at the start of the 3rd quarter, they needed to get down the field quickly, and they did. Tigers taking the lead. 11:20 left to play in the 3rd quarter. The Tigers back on top, 19-14, pending the extra point.
And the Tigers are going to have a different kicker at the moment. This is going to be kicked by, says number 21, Brian Whitley. Brian will take the kick here. Here comes the snap. Here comes the hold. And here comes the kick. And it is good. Tigers 2014, 92-1 WVTK.
At BMW, we're on a never-ending journey to bring you the most innovative vehicles possible. That's why our entire lineup comes with available cutting-edge features designed to deepen the connection between driver and road. We've upgraded our already advanced driver assistance systems with available new features like automatic lane change and intelligent personal assistant, which enhance the driving experience by providing seamless hands-free options. And that's on top of the outstanding performance you've come to expect from BMW. This all adds up to is a more intuitive, exhilarating, and rewarding experience for the driver. Not every journey has an end. Here's to the next 100 years of innovation. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Learn more at the Automaster BMW, ahead of the curve, Shelburne Road in Shelburne, Vermont, and at the AutomasterBMW.com. Special lease and finance offers available by the Automaster through BMW Financial Services.
Now back to Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
And as the Fairhaven Slaters on a 2nd and 10, trying to move it down the field, it is Sam Rainey. Over to number 63, David Doran, one of his favorite targets. And it is going to be 3rd and 7 coming up for the Fairhaven Slaters. On the first play of this drive, they had a 4-second count, which went against them. I think, on one hand, that 4-second count, if you just hold on to the ball, it's only a loss of down. You don't give it away. Maybe that makes sense. Sawyer Rainey in the backfield, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Rainey looks towards his closest man, who is open. That's going to be brought in for about a 9-yard gain or so on that play for Ryan Muratori. Ryan Muratori's first catch on the night. It's going to be a 1st and 10 on the 43 for the Slaters. Slaters have had an up and down evening offensively. At times, they've scored very quickly. At times, they just haven't been able to generate anything for length of time. They have also thrown 3 interceptions, and that'll hold you back. 2 to the left, 3 to the left now, 2 to the right for the quarterback. Sawyer Ramey looking downfield. He's going to go high. He's got a man wide open crossing the 40, and that's where he's going to get hit. So that was about a 23, Sorry, doing bad math there. 17-yard gain. Can tell I'm not a math teacher. And right now it is 1st and 10 coming up for the Fairhaven Slaters from the 40-yard line. Sawyer Ramey back in the shotgun, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. He's looking, kind of pump faking. He may run out of time here. He's going to have to watch that. He didn't, apparently, was able to get it off. That was a first down. I think that went to Ryan Doobie.
It'll be a first down for Fairhaven.
I'll give him about 10 on that. First down for Fairhaven, getting pretty efficient here right now. Are the Slaters. They're not really doing anything overly fancy. You're not seeing a lot of movement, but just getting out into space to make things work. 1st and 10 from the 30 of the Tigers. Ramey drops back, looking over to his right, pops back towards the center. He's looking downfield, patting the ball. Got a man come open, but it fell off his hands. Good defense there on that play by Wyatt LaFleur, staying with the receiver. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Fairhaven Slaters. Fairhaven's trailing in this game right now. Tigers are leading 20-14. Incidentally, that was last week's final score. 3 players on the left, 2 to the right for Sawyer Ramey. Calls for it, drops back, looks towards his right initially, looks back middle, goes towards his right. Pat and throw it out there. Oh, almost able to bring it in, but really, really beautiful defensive play there. Gabe Cattell did a really nice job knocking that down.
That was a diving play by Cotel to break that up. It was a nice play.
And it's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up for Fairhaven. See if that play swings this at all. That could be an important play on this drive. Of course, with the way they throw it around, it's hard to really know. It is going to be Ramey dropping back. He's got all 5 in front of him to choose from. He's going to go over to his right side. Man's able to bring it in, get to the 15. That was a gain of about 15 yards to number 55, Owen Laughlin. And that's a tough thing about this game. You could make a great pass defense play like that with Gabe. You're like, wow, that's kind of often that'd be a drive stopper, that. And no, the play game's so wide open. 15-yard pass plays happen fairly easily. 3 over to the left, 2 over to the right for Sawyer Ramey. He drops back, gets it, looks towards his receiver. And it is going to be a gain of about 4. His favorite receiver, David Doran. We'll say gained about 3 on that one. Doran so far tonight has 4 catches, 16 yards. So he hasn't thrown for the most, hasn't caught the most yards for a Fairhaven receiver, but he does have the most receptions. Right now, Sawyer Ramey back, 5:19 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Middlebury leading Fairhaven 20-14. Fairhaven tried to do something about that. Sawyer Ramey drops back, looking downfield, taking his options. He's got a man in the corner, going to be able to bring it in, and he does. 14-yard touchdown by the Fairhaven Slaters, caught by number 55, Owen Laughlin. And for Fairhaven, they were just able to throw that in there. He did a nice job to Laughlin of getting out to that corner, and had just gotten behind the defender. Enough people got kind of lost in the traffic, able to bring it in. So right now, tough game here. Fairhaven's going to bring in the kicker to try to go ahead by 1. And the kicker is back. This is going to be Evan Reed. Getting ready to try to take the lead. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. And it is good. It's 21-20 Fairhaven on 92.1 WVTK.
Summer is here. In Vermont, we have access to the best of what Mother Nature has to offer.
That drive took 7 minutes
Emma,
off the clock.
Daughter of Eric
Crazy.
Carter from the Carter Insurance
Wow.
Agency. Eric, Chad, Sarah, and I would like to remind you that as you are getting out to enjoy our beautiful area, make sure you have the right insurance coverage. Whether you're hiking up Mount Abe, cruising down Route 7 on your motorcycle, sailing across Lake Champlain, relaxing at Campersville, or having a barbecue in your backyard, the Carter Agency is here to help make sure you are safe from unexpected actions.
Yeah.
Let the team at the Carter Agency help you and answer your questions to make sure you have the right coverage for your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, boat, and more. Learn more by visiting the Carter Agency online at carteragencyvt.com. Follow us on Facebook or stop in to see us at 2 South Street in Bristol, Vermont. or give us a call at 802-453-6054. The Carter Agency, ensuring you do.
If it's Tigers football, it's on WVTK. Fort Henry, Ticonderoga, Middlebury, 92.1 WVTK. High school football is on 92.1 WVTK.
And you're starting to feel it now. You're feeling a close game here. This has gotten really, really interesting. Fairhaven just took a 1-point lead on the Middlebury Tigers. And right now, of the lessons that you have learned as the coaching staff of the Tigers, now it's the second half of the second game. Now you're really doing it. I think you're doing it with some knowledge. I think you're doing it with some attention here. I'm excited to see what the Tigers do on this drive. One in the backfield, one to the left, three to the right for Ryan Thomas. Danielle throws it down. Nice job there by Sam Ward. They said he did not get touched. That was actually not Sam Wood. I'm sorry. That was Ethan Plouffe with the catch. His first catch of the night. And that was a nice pickup there of about 16. Ryan Thomas Daniel having a good and effective night here for the Middlebury Tigers. And right now, Tigers looking over their sideline, and the Tigers are trailing by 1 point. It's 21-20, Fairhaven. Ryan Thomas Daniel asks for it. He looks downfield. His people are way out ahead of him now. He's going to chuck it up on a prayer and see what happens. And he may have gotten a little lucky on that prayer. It was dropped by the receiver. He's saying, what do I need to get that one back? Is number 56, Luke Williams, unable to bring it in. Bruce, one story towards the south. It is starting to get dark. Hopefully that'll miss us.
And it's also starting a little bit chillier, so you know that the fall is here.
And it is going to be Thomas Daniel looking over here on the sideline. Remember, he's got to think about his timing. He only gets 3 minutes to play, and then Zach Bean takes over. So he's going to want to make something happen here. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. He's looking around. He's got a few people. He's got Milo right in front of him here. That's going to be a gain of about 7, I believe, to Milo Gordon. That's going to be his first catch of the night. It's going to be the Tigers' third and about 5, maybe a 4 from the Slaters' 48.5-yard line or so. 2:35, 2:34, 2:33 left to go in this third quarter. 2 to the right, 1 in the backfield, and 2 over to the right. Thomas Daniel slides over. He throws down at the feet of Milo Gordon, unable to bring it up. We're going to be looking at 4th down here. And they are going to come out of the game. Looks like they are going to punt it, I believe, with Bodie Rubright. And really, realistically, we talk about this being a close game and you playing it the way you would need to play it. For the Tigers, typically at half field in this kind of situation, they absolutely would punt it away. So we're seeing here the way the coaches would call it, I think. And Bodie with an absolute beauty to reward them. Nice job. The ball's going to be down there, and that's where Fairhaven's going to take over. Fairhaven are going to have a lot of yards to go, but they have a 1-point lead right now with 1:42 left to go in the third quarter.
So now getting the ball back with a 1-point lead, about 1:30 left to play in the third quarter. If you're the coach, is your strategy for Fairhaven here? Do you try to get a slow, deliberate drive, or do you want to try to score quick here?
I think for Fairhaven, where you are is you are just in the process of figuring out what works for you. I don't think you necessarily have the benefit of kind of doing something. I think you're just now figuring out what plays have been working, what you want to go to. I think you're sticking with your absolute straight-ahead game plan here and having faith in it. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And it is the quarterback looking for a close man, but dropped a little high. Sawyer Ramey put it up so high and hard on Luke Williams. He was unable to bring it in. And it's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up for the Slaters. Time's ticking away. Slaters are probably going to have one more play in this quarter. It is Ramey in the backfield looking at his calls. He's got 3 over to his left, 2 to his right. Ramey's going to take the snap. Drop back. He's got a few plays motion. He's got a man cave open, but then got closed up again. There's another one open. And that is going to be a first down, a gain of about 14 yards. And that's going to probably take us to the fourth quarter.
First and 10 with the ball on the 28.
And we'll be back for the fourth quarter on 92.1 WVTK.
Mini is a different kind of car for a different kind
I just
of
took a
drive.
guess there.
The drive to
Oh,
create
yeah,
a new kind of family car. One with go-kart
I'm
handling
trying to
and
keep
for everyone. The all-4 all-wheel drive that takes you everywhere. For the drive to create and innovate. For the drive that's inside you and inside us. That's the drive under the hood of every
Gotcha.
Mini.
Have it here.
Because every Mini is for the drive. Test drive a Mini today at Mini of Burlington, Champlain Drive, Shelburne, and at miniofburlington.com to schedule your test drive.
Hi, this is John Wallace, graduate gemologist and owner of Autumn Gold in Middlebury, Vermont. Stop in and melt someone's heart. Whether you're looking for fine handcrafted jewelry, a rare gemstone, or an awesome diamond, come in and see what we have to offer. Meet our fun staff of very talented designers and goldsmiths. And remember, we do expert in-house repairs, restorations, and appraisals as well. Autumn Gold, the Earth's most beautiful gifts.
This is Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
And Fairhaven coming out and to start the fourth quarter here on 92.1 WVTK, week 2 of the regular season. Fairhaven leading 21-20. It is Sawyer Raby in the backfield, 4 over to his right. He's going to go to the short receiver, who's not going to gain a whole lot there. Zach Ellis, maybe he gained a yard on that play. But for Fairhaven right now, certainly there's 2 different factors going into this fourth quarter. Number 1, you obviously want to score. You're ahead by 1. But number 2, there aren't a lot of possessions in any of these quarters. If you are able to score, that can be very dangerous for the Tigers. Possessions matter here more than you might think. Raby back in the shotgun, 3 to his right, 2 to his left. Tigers try to keep everything in front of them. Receivers try to get behind them. One receiver does get behind him, but it falls to the ground. Nothing happening there. It was such a straightaway angle for the receiver. He didn't know which shoulder it was going to be coming in over and was just unable to pick it up. At the end there, it's going to be 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9, really, coming up for the Slaters. 14:05 left to go in this week 2 action. Slaters are leading the Tigers by a score of 21-20. Keep in mind, this quarter was when the Slaters really had most of their damage. So we'll, the quarter when the speed players play. And here's what happens here. Raby drops back. He's got a player fairly close who's able to turn the corner. They say he wasn't touched. He's going to the 30, the 30. He's going to go to 25, managed to evade a tackler. He's going to open space on that far corner. Evades another tackler. Is finally tacked, but he went from the 28. I'm going to have to do some math, Bruce. He went from the 28 all the way down to the 15. What a play there. It was Colby Murray got that ball and just took off, managed to avoid people. You don't see many broken tackles. They had some equivalents there of a broken tackle. And so that was 35 yards plus 22 yards. By some quick math, comes out to 57-yard pass play. It is 1st and 10 coming up for the Slaters. 13:03 left to go in this game. So Raby drops back, looking. Most of his receivers headed into the end zone, except he's got one man closer. And it is tipped up, knocked down. I think that was Bean there on that pass defense.
2nd and 10 from the 16.
2nd and 10 coming up from the 16-yard line for the Slaters. Time's already ticking. 12:37 left to go in this fourth quarter. Colby Murray's now had a productive night. He's actually had 2 57-yard plays. And it is Murray going to the end zone for Murray. Will they give him pass? Oh, he didn't catch it. I had 2 questions. First, I wondered whether they were going to call the receiver for offensive pass interference. But then he wasn't able to catch it anyway, so no harm done any direction.
Murray went up but could not hold on to it. You're right there. And that was both players going for that ball and no flag. So 12 minutes left to play, fourth quarter, 21-20 in favor of the Fairhaven Slaters. 3rd and 10 from the 16. The Slaters threatening.
Colby has over 120 yards and a touchdown in receiving. And it is Raby dropping back, looking for an open receiver, is able to get it away, I think, before the 4-second mark, but it was knocked down. And here is why you develop a kicking game. Do you decide that it's certainly a 21-20 football game? You'd think you would want to go for the kick. Some teams in Vermont hardly kick at all. Some, like the Tigers, have a game that they're confident in. I'll be interested to see. It looks like Fairhaven is going to attempt the kick. Now, if there's any situation, you wonder if it's better for a kicker to have no one around them, or whether it's whether it's a lot of kind of weird just to be standing out there with a couple people out in the middle of the field. Either way, it is going to be Evan Reed looking to give the Slaters a 4-point lead.
So he's kicking from the 24.
And it's down. And it is a shot. That's 24-20 Fairhaven, 92-1 WVTK.
The finest furniture, housewares, home accessories, lighting, and bedding is at Woodware, a family-owned business located just south of Middlebury on Route 7. They carry brands known for quality: Flex Steel, sofas, sectionals, recliners, and accent furniture; Thor's Elegance, Vermont-crafted furniture; Beauty Rest mattresses; Hubbardson Forge, hand-forged lighting from Vermont; R.H. Lemure, fine hardwood dining room furniture; Oriental Weavers, area rugs; and Telescope casual outdoor furniture. Their top-quality
So they went
furnishings and
72
other
yards,
items for
but had
your
to set
home
up
are
for a
backed by
field goal.
Customer is always right guarantee. Plus, they deliver anywhere in Vermont and provide white glove delivery service anywhere in the country.
Hey, who
It's all
was
at
the kicker?
Woodware.
I'm sorry. On that.
Huh?
Who was the kicker?
Evan Reed.
WoodwareVT.com.
That's
Now
34
back to
yards.
Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
Back to Tiger football. The Tigers are looking at 1st and 10 to start this drive from the 30-yard line, their own side of the field. Zach Bean has 3 to his right, 2 to his left. He drops back. He's going to look close for Bodie. No, he's going to go long over the head of Nikolai Lush. That's not going to be brought in. Tigers are going to look at 2nd and 10. Now, right now for the Tigers, this is a very Middlebury Tigers situation. It is very common for the Tigers to really to want to score, but also want to eat some clock. Were they able to take a lot of time off this, they might be able to conceivably almost eat this whole quarter if they go for a long drive. They need to go for efficient pass plays probably to do that. Being back in the shotgun, he's got a running back with him, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. He's looking close, well covered other players. He's going to go close, and that's going to go off the hands of Kaufman, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up for the Tigers.
We saw that last week in the game against Otter Valley, where Otter Valley had a 95-yard drive, taking 9 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock, but coming away empty. And if you're going to have a drive like that, Middlebury cannot come away empty. They need a touchdown.
3rd and 10 for the Middlebury Tigers from their own 30-yard line. Being back in the backfield with Kaufman with him. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. It's done in motion, making it heavy 3 to the right. He looks over to his right where he has all those players. He's going to launch it long for Luke. And it's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to be intercepted. And a player like Colby Murray, who has 120-something yards receiving, you do not want to put that ball up in the air for him. He was able to bring it in with an INT.
And that ball hung up in the air a while. I don't know if it got caught up in the wind, but both players coming together, and Murray doing a nice job bringing that down. An interception. We've seen a lot of interceptions tonight.
We've seen 5 interceptions tonight, as a matter of fact. Fairhaven has had 2, and there have been 3 by the Middlebury Tigers. It is Sawyer Ramey looking to add to their score right now. 3 to the right, 2 to the left for Ramey, standing at his own 30, leading by 4. Ramey's looking downfield, going to get his favorite target there. That is going to be Murray in front of him. Not much of a gain, though. Only 1-yard gain to Murray from Ramey. Right now for the Tigers, getting a stop here obviously is important. You're not going to get a lot of possessions. As we said, normally 8 minutes left to go, you're going to have a few possessions. Maybe not. Ramey drops back. He's going to go close. Really wasn't able to connect with his receiver at all. That's going to fall incomplete. Right now for the Tigers, 3rd and 9 on the 31. This is a very big play, Bruce.
Very big play, and if they can get a stop here, they'll probably get the ball back with relatively decent field position.
And again, you might be saying, Berkey, Bruce, it's 8:15 left to go in the game. Why is this a really big play? Drives take time in these games. Ramey drops back. He's got 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He's going to go. He's got a man pretty open, and it's intercepted in the middle of the field. Coming back the opposite way, Cole Schnoor with the beautiful interception. What a huge play. We talked about how interceptions have been important tonight. That could not have been any more timely for the Middlebury Tigers. Right now for the Tigers, now's your chance to do something with it. 7:43, you're trailing by 4 points here in this game. Right now, again, we're saying drives don't necessarily take that long. Pretty important for the Tigers here to get some yards and to get points. Zach Bean in the backfield. He's got 1 running back. Kaufman with him. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Here comes the snap. Drops back. He's standing on the 45, looking for somebody to come open. And it's almost picked in there. That was coming up. Number 23, Riley Flanders. And right now, it's ironic. I just heard somebody yelling about contact. They wanted too much contact call. I never thought I'd hear that at a football game. All right, and here we go. 3 over to the left, 2 to the right, waiting for Zach Bean to get the call in. 6:56 left to go in this game. Tigers are trailing by 4, looking to score. They are standing at the 38 of Fairhaven. And Bean got an open receiver there. That's going to be a first down. And that was a first down play, catch by Luch. And a nice pass play. What do you think? It was about 14 yards or so?
I would say 14 yards and a heck of a pass by Bean there and a great catch to bring that down by Luch. 6:25 left to play, fourth quarter. The Tigers trailing by 4. Fairhaven leading 24-20.
Nice recovery by Bean after that interception, coming in and playing confidently the next time he's in. Back in the shotgun, 3 to his right. He's looking towards that heavy side, looking for somebody to come open, and he will get. Looks like that's going to be Gabe Dunn, I believe, in the middle of the field. Yes, it was. We'll give about 7 yards on that pass from Bean to Dunn. Surprisingly for Dunn, who would have been very involved this season, all the way going along, a senior co-captain who plays running back. That's his first catch of the night, I believe. And right now for the Tigers, 5:47 left to go in the game. Trailing by 4, but Zach Bean has his team walking down the field. It's 2nd and 2 from the 19. Here comes the snap to Bean. He's looking for somebody open. He gets intercepted. I think it's going to be dead there, but that was intercepted by Evan Reed. And another interception.
I believe that's the 7th tonight.
That is the 7th interception tonight. And I really think a big element of this is the windows being open and then they close. So many of these routes, the players go down and they sit down in an area that creates an opening for a second, but then the defenders recover. And if the quarterback waits a little too long, that recovery happens and they're able to jump on it. So I think for Zach Bean, it's going to be a little hard after a couple of interceptions, but trust yourself, trust your experience, and throw those balls to the windows when they're open. Going to have to make snap decisions. 3 to the right for Sawyer Rainey. He's going to come back towards the middle, and he's going to get a gain of about 7, passing to Sam Worthing. Sam Worthing has had a good night. He is over about 80 yards or so on the night.
Where it's going to be 2nd and 4.
I have not tabulated the number of yards for Sawyer Ramey, but I can tell you he has thrown a lot of attempts. Ramey drops back 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He's going to pump once, come back close. That is going to be a dropped pass, a wide open receiver. Levi Ryan unable to bring it in.
Down to 4 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Fairhaven leading 24-20. 3rd and 3 from the 25.
I believe Sawyer Ramey has at least 40 pass attempts tonight. Ramey's back, 2 to his left, 3 to his right. And he pumps once to his right. Now he tries to loft it over a defender. Also lofts it a little too high for his receiver. And right now it's going to be 4th down for Fairhaven. So tough spot for them. They're really going to have to punt here.
They're going to have to punt, and Middlebury should get the ball back with decent field position and a lot of time and 3 timeouts.
3 times out. So Middlebury, pretty good shape here in the sense of if they can put together. But keep in mind, this is a 4-point game, not a 3-point game. They have a good kicking game, not a good cooking game, a good kicking game in Lush, but that's not going to do the trick. Tigers need a touchdown. 3:08 left to go in this game. Unless things go crazy, you would have to think this would be the final possession for them. The last opportunity. And Middlebury takes a timeout.
And Middlebury Union High School Tiger football on WVTK is brought to you in part this season by the National Bank of Middlebury, with locations in Middlebury, Bristol, Vergennes, Brandon, and Heinsberg, and also online at nbvt.com. Martin's Coins and Jewelry on Shelburne Road in South Burlington and online at martinscoins.com. Woodware, offering the finest furniture, housewares, and accessories on Route 7 South in Middlebury. And Mike's Auto and Towing for all your car care needs and a whole lot more. See them online at mikesautomid.com. That's mikesautomid.com.
And so here they come, the Middlebury Tigers with 3:07 left to go in the game. 3:07 to go down and get a touchdown. and get their second win of the season. Zach Bean with his chance. 3 to the right, 2 to his left. He drops back. He's going to look right to start, and he's going to have a man, but he's going to throw it behind him. Brody Rubright unable to bring it in. Time is ticking away, if you notice. Remember, an incomplete pass does not kill the clock. 2:53 left to go in this game. All right. And they're going to have to walk it back. Left it behind. Nobody was doing their job. 2:39 now left to go. It is Bean back in the backfield. 2 to his left, 3 to his right. Bean's looking to see who can come open. And he gets picked in the middle of the field. Is the man going to be able to return it? He gets brought down. That was a pick by Owen Lachlan.
And Lachlan stepping right in front of the Middlebury receiver, picking that off and taking it down to the 27-yard line. And Fairhaven in a very good position to put Middlebury in a hole here.
And at this point, Fairhaven is going to be able to, if they can complete some short passes. Actually, it won't matter. If Middlebury does have 2 timeouts left, but it's going to be hard to have that turn into anything here with the situation. Fairhaven able to kill so much time with the clock continuing to run, even on an incomplete pass. Here comes Sawyer Ramey out to take the snap. 3 to his right, 3 to his left. 1:45 left to go in a game that Fairhaven leads by 4. He looks over, has a man close. He's going to get some space. So only going to pick up a couple yards. That went to Sam Worthing, but still, time ticks off the clock.
And we have a timeout here on the field by the Tigers.
Tigers are going to be left with 1 timeout. And Bruce, it's a tough feeling at this point of the game.
Well, it's the way this whole year has gone so far, just learning the nuances of this game. That 1 interception with running time, really the difference maker in this, because barring something surreal happening here, Middlebury is going to run out of luck here because they will not be able to stop. They'll be able to stop the clock one more time.
Yeah, the interceptions have been a story this game. There have been 8 total interceptions, 4 by both teams. So certainly, you're throwing the ball around and you're having fun. How do you build in some of that discipline into the overall passing game on both sides where you're not throwing interceptions? Because possessions matter, right? You might think logically, they're chucking it around. Maybe they have a million possessions. Possessions actually matter in this game. So football, having it does make a difference because the time ticks so quickly. 2 to the left, 3 to the right for the quarterback. Ramey looking to see if he has an open. Does get an open receiver right in the middle of the field. And that's going to gain for the 25 about to the, it's a little ahead of where they said, I think. 25 looks like they're going to put it at the 12. I thought it was a little farther than that. 11, so I guess that's a 14-yard gain for the Slaters. Time keeps ticking away. 1:10 on the clock. 1st and 10 for Fairhaven. They're going to be pretty content to let this just tick away, I think. They have a 30-second clock on the snaps. They are going to have to play at least one more play. Ramey's willing to let it take it down is the sophomore quarterback. Certainly a bright future ahead for him. Probably a good year to get him these reps. He's going to have 1 million passes in his back pocket by the time he's a junior.
Well, he's played well tonight, managed the game very well also.
And Ramey's going to let it tick down. 4 seconds, 3. I expect that they do take a knee. And so that will be, do they take it like a knee as though it was? I guess they do. That's going to end the game. The Middlebury Tigers lose, falling to Fairhaven by a score of 24-20. So week 2 not ending in the Tigers' favor, but I think a lot of lessons they've learned there. We'll be back with all the post-game coverage and our JP Carrera Player of the Game. You've been listening to the Middlebury Tigers football at 921 WVTK.
Over 60 years in business. LaBerge equals insurance. LaBerge Insurance Agency's been helping you find the right insurance. Don't pay too much for the wrong coverage. LaBerge Insurance will get it right. Homeowners, renters, condo, auto, life, commercial, farm, or Medicare supplement insurance. Call LaBerge at 388-2772. LaBerge Insurance Agency, locally owned and conveniently located at 1 Washington Street, Middlebury. LaBerge